Hello, and welcome to Martlet Games. My name is Sarah, and I'm the storyteller for this Vampire the Masquerade chronicle entitled London's Bleeding. First, I want to thank everyone joining us, the talented players, my family and friends, and the family at large as I tell my very first vampire story. Please note that this is a game for mature audiences, as Vampire is a game of personal horror. This chronicle will include violence and gore, profanity, sexual themes and language, tragedy, and other uncomfortable topics. The Spanish flu pandemic is also present in this story. Please remember to take care of yourself above all. Now, let's get acquainted with our players, starting with Walter.
Hi, my name is Ben, and I'll be playing Walter the Gangrel.
Hi, my name is Patrick, and I will be playing Rafe the Toreador.
Hi, my name is Samantha McLarty, and I will be playing Lillian Crawford, the Ventru.
And hi, my name is Steven, and I'll be playing Tommy, the Malkavian.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Now, I invite you to settle in, embrace the darkness, and travel back over 100 years with me. In late December of 1918 in London, the city rejoices as the Great War ends. Soldiers return to the bosoms of their beleaguered brides, and children embrace their changed fathers. Londoners bask in their victory despite the encroaching cold and terrifying autumnal onslaught of the Spanish flu. King George V is less than a decade into his reign after the unexpected death of his elder brother Albert Victor, having to adapt rapidly to the rise of fascism and other systems that would alter Britain's destiny. Additionally, the criminal element is alive and even thriving, as gangs roam London's back streets, stealing and extortion, gambling, and murder. In the shadowy world of Kindred, London is a solid, iconic Camarilla city, ruled with an iron fist by the ancient, relentless, and often capricious Prince Mithras, a Ventru of considerable power. Poverty rules alongside him, widening the class divides and leaving hospitals and clinics overrun with the needy after war's end and in the midst of a pandemic. Dark streets should be empty, but aren't. The mortals of London are trapped between trembling victory and fathomless grief, and the kindred manipulate them from every corner of the city. Jack London wrote in his novel about poverty in London's East End called The People of the Abyss. The air he breathes, and from which he never escapes, is sufficient to weaken him mentally and physically, so that he becomes unable to compete with the fresh, virile life from the country hastening on to London town. It is incontrovertible that the children grow up into rotten adults. And finally, night falls. It's 11 p.m. on December 21st, 1918. North of the Thames River, east of the Tower of London, in the neighborhood of St. Catherine's and Wapping, home to the dock workers and some of the poorest in the city. At the corner of Bewley and Cable Street stands Wetterman Hospital, founded in 1900 by the Wetterman family, old money involved in housing and tenements. It's a modest, rather small facility surrounded by a tall, unembellished wrought iron gate. The hospital has one central receiving area punctuated by a long desk, with only a handful of private rooms. Hallways are crammed with beds due to the overwhelming needs as a masked skeleton crew of staff weave through the patients, ashen and quick. A large staircase leads up to the administrative areas and offices of senior staff, including that of the head of the hospital, Dr. Aloysius Gray, a distinguished-looking man of about 60, reedy and mostly bald, with very small spectacles perched on his prominent nose. He's moving quickly down the stairs and into the receiving area. Another doctor is walking in front of him when Gray sort of intervenes. He adjusts his glasses as he's coming down the stairs. Dr. Williamson, Dr. Williamson, and the doctor that he's calling his name, he's probably about 30, white, dark hair and dark eyes. kind of nervous, sort of jittery disposition, though it matches pretty much everybody else in the hospital right now. Um, and he sort of stops in his track and slowly turns toward Dr. Gray. And Dr. Gray says, Williamson, you cannot continue to take in cases that are unrelated to influenza. I know that you like to take in pretty much anyone that comes in your path, but we don't have any more beds, and we simply don't have room to take in cases that aren't related to the pandemic. Are we understood? And Williamson lowers his head and he says, yes, doctor. Yes, doctor. I understand, and I'll make sure to discharge the patients as soon as I can. I just want to observe them a little longer before they leave, if that's all right. And Dr. Gray sort of rolls his eyes. Okay, fine. By tomorrow then, and not a day longer. And Dr. Gray just kind of continues to circulate in the main area. And we open up on Tommy, who's outside the wrought iron gates, entering the hospital with some things to figure out.
Okay, I'm showing up in pretty much everything that I'm wearing now. Brim cap down low, black shirt on, or no coat. Probably need one, but no coat. And I'm just standing there waiting to get a answer to for Cassandra.
Okay, so are you approaching like the front desk?
Yes.
Okay, so another person comes from one of the side wings off the main area there, and it's a woman. She's really short. She's like probably 5 feet tall. She's really stout. Got kind of like messy, short brown hair, and just sort of has a scowl on her face. But as soon as she sees you, she brightens up immediately, and she's like, "Oi, love, can I help you?"
Yes, Cassandra Larkson, looking for her.
Cassandra.
She came in earlier this afternoon.
Oh, yeah. I remember. No, not Cassandra really on a chart though, is it?
No.
Right. So, I'm not really supposed to let anyone in, but I guess someone does need to come collect her. So, one minute, and let me get Dr. Williamson, and he'll take you back. All right?
Sounds good, thank you.
Okay. So she shuffles off and is able to grab Dr. Williamson from one of the million tasks that he is doing tonight. And they have a brief exchange, and she sends him your way. So Dr. Williamson straightens up and comes to behind the desk. So you're separated by the desk there. He's like, yes, sir. You're here to see Cassandra, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Follow me quickly, please.
Sure.
So okay. So you follow him. And let's see, you just you go to the left hallway, and again there are like not a ton of private rooms available in a hospital this small. So she's not in a hallway, but she's sort of like in this back room that has like probably 2 other patients in there, presumably flu, but you're not really sure. So you go back, and she's there. Cassandra's there. You recognize her. She is looking pretty beat up. She's got a black eye. She's got a swollen lip. She's got like a couple bandages on her arms you can see, but she's like covered up with some blankets due to the cold. So she's not really responsive. She's not unconscious, but she's definitely not like actively noticing that you're coming in. So Dr. Williamson like picks the chart up that's sitting near her bed. Yes, well, Ms. Jones came in this afternoon, as you said, and normally we wouldn't take this kind of thing right now. Her injuries aren't necessarily serious, you see, but she's quite unwilling to talk about what happened to her. She is not combative, of course, but doesn't speak very much about what happened to her. Obviously, these are injuries sustained in some sort of confrontation, but we don't really have the details, as you might imagine, with her being so unwilling to speak. And how are you? And what is your relation to the patient?
My relation to the patient is none of your business at this point in time.
Oh, well, excuse me, sir. I don't mean to suggest anything.
I do thank you for having her in, though.
Well, I couldn't leave her looking as she did. Obviously, she needed medical attention, which we provided to her. Now, she will need to be observed through the night, but tomorrow morning, tomorrow early afternoon, someone can come collect her.
Absolutely, that is fine. I'll be able to make those arrangements. But I will need to talk to her and find out what happened to see if I can get some answers as well.
Yes. Well, I'm glad you're going to investigate. If you'll excuse me, I do have many patients to see. If you would like to sit with her for a few minutes, that would be acceptable. But afterward, I may have to ask you to leave.
Understandable. I'll keep it brief and short.
Okay, so with that, with Tommy in Cassandra's room, we're going to cut to Lillian Crawford, who is arriving by car outside the Iron Gates. Also coming to the hospital with a certain mission.
And I'm going to wait until the driver opens the door, because I'm not opening the door.
Good point. So the car stops. The car stops, and the driver gets out. He's kind of a bigger looking dude, but just in some typical like winter apparel, heavy wool coat and whatnot. And he stops the car, parks it just outside the gates, and comes around and opens the door for you and sort of like gets out of your way. Mum?
Could you be any slower?
I'm sorry, Mum.
No, just don't talk. Wait here. I don't care what anyone else says. You wait right here. Are we understood?
Yes,
This is
Mum.
right. Yes, thank you so much. Fantastic. And I'm going to walk past him and head straight into the hospital.
Cool. And the driver will take the car like somewhere like on the street to park not far away. Okay, so you're walking into the receiving area of the hospital, and Dr. Gray immediately clocks you as somebody like high status. So he's milling around. He's really not doing anything. Like he's not actually like talking to patients or like administering medicine or diagnosing anybody. He's just sort of like flitting around. He's the head of the hospital. You can tell he has like a haughty air about him, but he sees you come towards the front desk, and he just like he's just wearing like really drab brown clothes and kind of the white doctor coat, and so he pretty sprightly walks behind the desk, and he goes, "Madam, welcome to Wetman Hospital. How may we be of service to you?"
Yes, I'm here to collect my niece, if you don't mind. Bess Crawford, please.
Oh, Bess Crawford. Yes, indeed. Let me.
And the whole time she's looking around, like with her kind of her nose turned up, she's just.
Yeah, and that makes sense in terms of the time period. If you're going to the hospital in this time, that means you are poor, pretty much, because all of the high society people have doctors come to their houses. So if you're here, like, you've either had something extremely urgent happen, or you've got, there's no time for a doctor for you. So Gray sort of like he's kind of smirking to himself, and he's sort of scanning the room for another nurse, and he spots the same woman that had originally talked to Tommy. He's like, Jacqueline, come here at once. And she's running towards him, and she's really put upon at this point, and she's like, yeah, doctor, what do you need? What do you need me to do? And Dr. Gray's like, please escort this lady to see Bess Crawford. I believe that she should be informed on her condition right away. And Jacqueline, she's like, all right, yes, doctor, I'm right on it now. So Jackie cuts you some side-eye, Lillian. She's a dyed-in-the-wool Cockney girl, working class, and so there automatically seems to be like some tension. She kind of smiles, almost with the same little smirk that the doctor had. He's like, so you're looking for Bess, are you, love?
That's what I said. Do you understand proper English? I take it. You're speaking to me, so I'm going to guess that that's a yes. So yes, Bess Crawford, if you don't mind.
All right. So she is going to take you down that same left hallway off of the receiving area. But instead of going to the back, she does go to one of the rooms that's like off to the right in the hallway, and it is actually just Bess by herself in this room. Bess is laying there, and she's fully cognizant. She's awake. She looks definitely pallid, sweaty, not looking well at all. But again, Jackie just has this little smile. So she's like, so Jackie escorts you there, and she looks at you and says, all right, Bess is here. Listen, this isn't exactly one of the cases where the doctor needs to be involved as much right now, and they're all really busy. So if it's all right, I'll just tell you what's going on. Is that all right?
No, I don't need it. That's perfectly fine. And she walks over, and I'm guessing that there's still a medical chart like at the end of the bed.
Yeah, on like a table beside the bed.
She grabs it, and she just starts flipping through, not really looking, because I don't really have any medicine, but I'm just pretending like she's looking through, just kind of pretending like she knows what she's doing, and she's going to be, bloody hell, girl. All right, this is what we're going to do. She's looking at Bess and she's just saying, you are going to get up out of this bed. You're going to put your clothes back on. And you're going to come with me, and we're going to get into the car, and we're going to go home. Do you understand? And if I have to reiterate this any further, we might have a little bit of a problem. And I'm pretty sure you don't want that. In fact, I know you don't want that. So, hop to it. And she's going to look at the nurse and she's going to like, thank you very much for showing me where she had been placed. I will take it from here now. You can run along now. Thank you.
And Nurse Jacqueline cocks her head to the side and she kind of puts her fist on her hip and she goes, you don't want to know what's wrong with her? Are you a doctor? Oh no, you couldn't be a doctor as such, I suppose.
Doctor.
But
are you a doctor?
no, of course I am the doctor.
All right then. I suppose we're similar on we're really not on the same level at all. Just for the sake of me being kind at the moment, I'm going to tell you that I can take it from here, and whether you want, you can pretend to be, angry all you would like to be. You can try to talk circles around me. It's not going to really matter, because at the end of this, I'm still going to take my grand niece, my niece, home. Now.
I understand that. I want her out of it as soon as possible, okay? We need the beds for flu. We don't need her in here with stage 2 syphilis taking up a bed for those that are actually sick with the flu. So you're going to need to stop by the pharmacy tent outside and get her antibiotics because she needs several strong doses still.
Are you done? Quite finished? Yes?
Fine. Yeah.
Fantastic.
I'm
Thank
done.
you.
And she turns on her heel and leaves.
And I'm going to look back at Bess and she's like, really?
I don't want to go. I feel really sick.
Well, no shit, you feel sick right now. You've been whoring around all of London because you're on some sort of rebellious kick. Do you understand how this makes our family look? How this makes me look? How not happy I am about all of this right now. Why in the bloody hell did you come to this place? Why didn't you just say something to me? I could have had this fixed within minutes.
Because I know you don't want to bother with me.
Oh, you're making that very, very, very clear. Yes, that is becoming more and more of a reality indeed. But if you would just take your whatever this thing is you like to do, where you want to do everything that I tell you not to do, and everything that would essentially make the Crawford name look terrible. If you would just take that down a few notches and be grateful for what you have and what I have provided you and our family, because otherwise you could very well be in rags in the streets, cold, with influenza, dying in one of these beds. Do you understand that?
Okay, I'm done. You're gonna get me my medicine at least, right?
I'm going to get you something.
All
Up
right.
now, dressed.
Okay. All right, cool. So Bess is moving slow, and as she gets out of the hospital bed, she sort of like scratches her head and she pulls out like a clump of hair. And she sort of like looks horrified.
You satisfied? This is what you get. Do you understand consequences? These are consequences of your actions.
All right. So she is very, very, as quickly as she can, but it's not very fast. She's got like swollen glands, and it all kind of presents in a flu-like manner, which is why she was probably admitted in the first place, because mild flu symptoms are stage 2 syphilis, so it's easy to get it confused, but they figured it out. So while Bess is getting up, we are going to cut to Walter, and Walter is standing outside the hospital, inside the gate. So what I did want to add to the description of the front of the hospital is that there are all these like tents set up in the front where they're like distributing drugs. There's like probably 2 or 3 patients that are like in these tents. Like there are people like picking up prescriptions, and it's sort of just like this unfortunately necessary extension of the hospital since it's such a small facility. So there's like a bunch of like transactional stuff going on. There's like some drivers that are coming in and out. So Walter, I believe you are on duty this evening with Wetterman Hospital, kind of on a at-will security detail. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's pretty ad hoc. If they have a busy night, they call me in.
Yeah, and it definitely is busy tonight. Like there is a ton of activity, a ton of people walking around. So you are outside the hospital building. So I actually would like you to please roll wits and awareness, and please add 1 die to the pool. An extra die. Yes, you are a gangrel, so you're just a little bit more sensitive to your surroundings.
All right, here we go. We have 3 successes.
Okay. You notice that it's an unusually clear night. There are like no clouds, but the cold is really, really biting, but there is still, some light pollution in London at this time, but you can almost like see these stars twinkling in the sky, and you're just kind of like, you're almost distracted by how clear and cold everything looks, despite the like flurry of activity that's around you. Okay, so there's someone that's gonna come from a tent. It's a really young looking guy, maybe 19 years old.
Okay.
He is looking kind of rough. He doesn't seem to have the flu. Like he's not laid up. He's definitely not in as bad a condition, but he still looks like sickly. And he's got this like really short, close-cropped blonde hair and blue eyes. And he's got a crutch under his arm, and he just kind of comes like wandering up to you, and he's like, "Anything interesting around here tonight?"
Do I recognize him at all?
No, you don't.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, I suppose it's just a clear night. Thank you, citizen. Keep moving.
Well, I mean, it's just there ain't a lot to do, and I'm just sitting here like, but you better be careful, because I seen the gangs. I seen the gangs in the streets, and it just seems like there's more and more of them every day.
Who are you with?
Oh, I just came back from the war, sir.
Right, how long you been home?
About 3 weeks.
All right. So you're not with any outfit, not with any gangs. You're just coming up to tell me out of the kindness of your heart.
I mean, I figured you'd notice. I mean, about the gangs and all, but no, I'm not part of a gang.
Who have you seen?
Well, I mean, even in the dark, sir. I mean, and during the day, you see these guys with the red cloths tied around their hands.
Those fellas. I got it.
Yeah, I mean, it just seems like I see more and more of them. They're like taking over, whooping and all.
Do you see them? Have you seen them lately? Have they been around the hospital grounds?
I mean, I've been here a few days and I seen one or two of them around, looking really skittish, like not getting in and out of here, but just looking around and being suspicious.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Private John Elwood, sir.
Thank you, Chips. Thank you, Private John. What was that last name?
Elwood.
Elwood.
Yeah.
Thank you, Private John. Private Elwood. Please go
And he
back to your
sort of-
tent.
Yeah, he weakly salutes you and moves back to a tent where there's like a bed and just like a little bedside table and then like a little cabinet that's probably full of some backup things. And with that, we're going to cut to Rafe. And you are arriving outside the gates. Would you be so kind as to give a description of Rafe here?
All right. So, Rafe actually, hold on, I have to make an adjustment to the audio.
You're fine.
Rafe is actually wearing it would probably be like an officer's pea coat from during the war, but all of the insignia has been removed. This is he's not trying to present as military. He just happened to get the coat from a friend of his, but wearing vest, collared shirt, his hat. But he's making a point to appear to look cold, and I would I would actually like to activate Blush of Life to appear as mortal as possible.
It's a good call.
And that is a success.
Very good.
Skin returns to normal human color. He actually gives off mist as he breathes in the cold December air. So
Nice.
He doesn't have to fake having the cigarette to. Yeah, he, for all intents and purposes, he is a human. But he is at the gate, trying to get admittance.
Sure. So, you notice that Walter is standing at the front entrance, these two like big doors. So you're gonna, I mean, if this is cool, you want to go like right through to go to the front desk.
Yes, my intent is to go visit Margaret.
Right.
And
yes.
Depending on whatever angle would work best here, Rafe would be attempting to be on the hospital grounds working as G.L. Thornborough, doing articles and pieces on the conditions in the hospital, and that is his cover to go into the wing where his wife is, and he That is his current intent.
Okay, cool. So have you already sort of like touched base with the front desk, or are you just sort of like roaming around as you please?
I've made a point to speak to the front desk. This arrangement's probably been going on for a week or so, ever since Margaret was admitted.
Right.
So that is, at least that's the opportunity that he's using. He doesn't want to have his old name on any sort of paperwork, like check-in lists or anything like that. So he's going in as GL Thornborough.
Okay, great. I was wondering how you were going to play that, and I like it a lot. So let's say that you've already spoken to Nurse Jackie, and then you've probably Williamson has probably clocked you, but Gray probably doesn't even realize what you're doing or why you're there, because he's not really that concerned at this point. So, okay, let's do, are you looking for information on Margaret first, or are you just gonna you want to go find her?
I would like to just get like the women's wing. Where they would,
the women's wing.
Yeah, where they would keep the women patients. And then from
right,
there,
so that's gonna yeah.
And then from there I'm just gonna kind of wander around and try to look for Margaret.
Okay, that's good. So you're going to that left hallway, and you probably, as you're walking back, you probably hear a bit of the exchange between Lillian and Bess, going on.
I would actually stop.
Oh, you would stop? Okay.
I would stop, and I would probably eavesdrop a little bit. If I haven't been made, I would like to listen to the conversation going on.
Okay, yeah, no, you're still fully like your story, your cover is good right at this moment. So you'll hear them. You mainly hear Lillian admonishing Bess quite forcefully in Lillian fashion. And you can tell, you probably hear, it's probably, I'm trying to think if you heard her getting like her actual, like what's wrong with her, which is the syphilis, but Jackie's probably already gone by that point. So you didn't necessarily hear what's wrong with her, but you just hear, get up, we got to get going, and this sense of urgency that Lillian's trying to impress upon Bess. So did you want to move on from that, or were you trying to get in the room?
I would probably linger and maybe try to say hello as they are leaving.
Okay, cool. Yeah, sure. So you'll stand outside the door, and so then we'll sort of zoom back in on Lillian and Bess. And at this point, Bess is back in her clothes. She's got a very her clothes are kind of disheveled, but her coat looks very nice and probably expensive. And she is kind of just now Lillian presumably now is like leaving the room, and Bess is just shuffling behind her.
Oh, Mom, hello.
She just gives you a glare. Oh dear, it's you again.
Yes, hello, I'm working tonight, as it were.
Are you now?
Yes, and just couldn't happen to stop by and heard you two talking and figured I'd just
Eavesdropping?
I was walking by, and
You were eavesdropping. You were walking by. You would have continued to walk by, but you stopped and waited and listened because you just said you heard. So I'm going to say again, you were eavesdropping.
And he's, since Blush of Life is still active, he's probably blushing.
That's great.
Yes, Mom, it's old habits die hard. I'm a reporter by trade, so it's... I hear something interesting, and I haven't written anything down. My notepad and pen are put away.
Why are you here exactly?
I'm working.
Were you, by some chance, trying to get in with my niece?
I honestly
Okay.
did not know that she was here. I swear.
Right. All right. Well, tell you what. And she's just kind of gonna look around, and it would do you a great deed to be out front at the Iron Gates in roughly an hour or so. Wait there.
Understood. I will...
Fantastic.
1 hour.
Cheerio now. And she's just going to come along, Bess.
And he knows when he's been put in his place, and does not give any lingering glances towards Bess. But he will try to methodically search the women's wing to try to find Margaret's room, or maybe at this point they're probably just cots separated by sheets hung up on clothesline.
Pretty much.
Yes. But
So you go ahead.
I will try to start the search for Margaret.
Okay, cool. So if you would please roll me a wits and investigation. That
Wits and investigation. All right, I can do that.
Yes, please. Yeah.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6.
Yeah, that's a good pool for you.
Yeah, this isn't my best pool, but it's a good pool.
Almost.
That is 1, 2, 3 successes.
Oh, okay, perfect. So, you're sort of just like furtively looking through all, the white
second.
sheet after white sheet. Okay.
Here, just... Sorry. What happened to the other one?
I can't find the black one.
There's the gray one.
Yeah, but I need a 2-player to get that ninja.
Just go. Sorry. Child!
It's all good. It happens.
It happens. You'll hear my dog eventually.
And our cat, so it's all good.
Well, maybe I can be slick and edit that part out. We'll see. But anyways.
Or that. Anyway, okay, so you got a 3. Okay, so you are going to furtively search, just scanning. There's not a ton of like closed door situations because there's so much movement. So like a lot of the doors to these rooms are open, and sometimes there's like 2 to 3 people in there. But on the last leftmost room, actually right adjacent to the back room where Tommy and Cassandra are, you will recognize Margaret, and she is looking extremely ill. She is definitely thinner than you remember. She could be conscious, she could be unconscious. It's not super clear. But she's sort of like, when she does move, her head is sort of like lolling back and forth. So, and actually, if you would please roll, just give me just a composure roll.
Just composure.
Just composure, please.
That is one success.
Okay, that's fine. Rafe does, for just a split second, feel the beast about to leap out of his throat, so to speak. You know that the feeling that you're feeling right now, this is not something that a human being feels. This is something that a monster feels. This instinct to harm, this instinct to destroy anything that would put Margaret in danger or see her life threatened in any way. So your hunger does not increase. Nothing happens, but you do feel that ebbing. So would you like to approach Margaret?
Yes. If she does appear to be conscious, though, I am not going to approach to the point where she's going to actively notice me.
Okay. She's conscious, but she is pretty much delirious with fever at this point. Her condition is what would be like a critical moment in the flu, where her symptoms could ease off at this point and she could recover, or she could be dead tomorrow by tea time. So you can tell that there's just this sense of there's a tipping of the scales about to occur with her. And she continues to sort of like, and she says, Rafe.
I go and I approach. And I just put my hand on top of her forehead just to feel how hot her fever is.
It's distinctly warm.
Hush, love, I'm here.
I don't want to go. I want to go home.
I don't know if I can do that.
Can I get... I want to feel better. I don't want to do this. I can't. And it's at that point that the door isn't closed. Like, this is still like almost like an open circulation situation. So at that point, Nurse Jackie is gonna enter the room and be like immediately like startled by when it's like, sir, excuse me, please, this is a patient with the flu. Like, you can't be here.
I'm sorry, I'm with the press. I must have gotten it earlier, and it was a mild case. I've been working the wards getting information, trying to get the news out about the fight that is going on in these hospitals, and I've been fine. I've been fit as a fiddle for almost the entire month. I'm just checking in on her. She's looking incredibly sick, and I didn't see any staff around.
Okay, if you would please roll manipulation and persuasion for me, please.
Okay. Okay. That is 3 successes.
Very good. So she kind of looks you up and down, but she nods her head. She's a trusting sort, so she pretty much believes everything that you've told her at face value. And she's like, "Oh yeah, I mean, there's lots going on. That much is true. All hours of the day and night. And I was just bringing her some salicin. It helps with the fever a bit. So I'm just gonna, if you could please leave so I can administer the treatment."
How long does she have?
I mean, you know what they say about the flu. It's like fine at breakfast, dead by tea time. So it's really hard to know. I mean, and I'm just a nurse. I'm not a doctor, but you know, she gets a bit worse, she gets a bit better, she gets worse and better again, and I just don't know. We're giving her all the treatments, the salicin, the quinine, the cinnamon concoction. Like we're trying everything that we have. I can assure you of that.
All right, look, if you could do me a favor, and he takes out his notepad and a pen, and he writes down an address. This is a friend of mine. He takes a £5 note or banknote and kind of folds it up inside the piece of paper and hands it to the nurse. Look, if anything happens with her, one way or the other, if you could, send a runner to that address with the news, and let him know that that's a friend of mine who works at the Times. But he'll just let him know, and he'll let me know. There's something special about this one, and I'd like to keep on top of the situation, if you don't mind.
Yeah, all right. And she takes the paper and she like tucks it into the pocket of her sort of like smock that she's wearing. And she's like, all right, and I'll tell Dr. Williamson as well, so he can make sure it gets done, all right?
Excellent, thank you. And please just take care of this one, please.
I'll do my best, sir.
And I don't actively, blow Margaret a kiss, but I just kind of nod, maybe say a quick prayer, and then I turn to leave and then I'm just standing there out in the hallway, and I just let out this sigh that I didn't know that I was holding in. And I'm going to head out towards the Iron Gates there to go meet with Lillian, unless I run into anybody else.
Right. So actually, what is going to happen is, so at this point, Lillian and Rafe, are sort of just in the lobby area, just like briefly together. Tommy is going to come out to the front desk to get some more information about Cassandra, and Walter's still at his post. And you see sort of Dr. Gray. He is like stomping back into the main area, and he's like, Williamson, now, Williamson. And, you know, he's straight up shouting. So, like, people are looking in his direction. And Dr. Williamson, again, like, just runs up to this guy, like, from whatever he was doing. And he can hear him because, like I said, this is a small place. You only pretty much have these two hallways and then sort of, like, cul-de-sac, like, back rooms. So you can pretty much hear a guy who's shouting. And Williamson reports to Dr. Gray and says, we're out of salt of quinine. We're out of salt of quinine, and I need you to go to my office to retrieve the backup supply. We're nearly out. And then while you're at it, I need you to tell everyone to order more of that treatment, to order more cinnamon, to order more salicin. We're running very low. We may need to contact another establishment to get exactly what we need here. And Williamson is like, kind of looks around because he's like, I'm also a doctor. Like, why am I fetching stuff for you? So he's kind of like, if he's like, me, doctor, but I mean, I'm on my rounds. Like, I must attend to my patients. He said, now, I said, now. And Williamson looks defeated, and he goes up the stairs back toward Gray's office, which is at the very back of this upper area.
Rafe took notes of that entire exchange. As soon as the shouting started, the writing started.
Lillian rolled
Yeah.
her eyes at that entire exchange.
Right, and that's so Dr. Gray is going to again try to like sidle up to Lily, not too close, and he sort of is like he looks at Lillian from across the desk while she's like bringing Bess out into the room, and he says, well, I do hope you were satisfied with Bess's care. You're taking her then to be discharged.
Oh, I thought that this would be a bit obvious, but since it's not, yes, I'm taking her home. Thank you very much.
Right. Well, if you wouldn't mind, we just need you to sign her out officially for our records.
Whatever.
And he gets the
Do you
little...
mind if you don't mind, just real quick? I'm not incredibly. I'm a bit claustrophobic out here. If you don't mind, could we just step into this little, into the office over here? You know, I don't really like all the people around. Can we just step into the office over here?
Yes, of course. And he adjusts his glasses.
Fantastic.
And you're gonna just go into. You're not gonna go up the stairs. You're gonna go into this little like working office that's sort of behind the front desk, and like adjacent to the right hallway with the men's ward. So you'll just and it's like it's really small, like it's almost like the size of a closet. It's just sort of like a working room for any potentially private discussions. So he kind of like tries to stay respectfully away from you, and he's like, what can I do for you, Mum?
Are those the papers you need me to sign just there? Yes?
Yes, and he holds up a little
Thank you.
clipboard.
She's just going to take them and look them over, and then she's going to be right. So I'm going to need you to forget she was ever here.
Well, why would I need to do such a thing?
Going to use compel.
Okie dokie. So let's see. Compel. Okay. So let me just reference that super quick. I didn't have that one written down for you for some reason. I made this whole cheat. Okay, so is that a rouse check?
I'm looking again. I had it pulled up and then it disappeared. Hold on.
It's
I think
okay.
it's that's called memory. Compel is free. It is a
Yeah, I thought so. Okay.
yeah. It is a dice pool. Like it is a roll, but this is a human, right?
Yes. Yeah. Yep.
I don't think it's
Dr.
really gonna
Gray's
matter too
immortal.
much.
I was gonna say I don't necessarily think I would require a roll for this because it's, he can't really withstand that.
Yeah, she's just gonna be like, she was never here. Do you understand?
Yes, Bess, she was never here.
No Bess, no Crawford, no nothing, no Lillian, none of us. She didn't come to this facility.
No, Crawford. Yes, of course.
Fantastic. I'm gonna keep these and her charts with me, and you should probably go and complete your rounds now. Thank you so much. And she's just gonna walk out of the office and collect Bess. Tucking the medical information into like her coat.
Cool. Well done. So Dr. Gray comes out of the office kind of glassy-eyed and just sort of like kind of looks around for a second and then what he was doing, which is kind of just strutting around like a peacock, not doing too much. It is at this point that I would like everyone, including Walter, to please make a wits and awareness roll for me.
Ooh. Fun
stuff.
4 successes.
Ooh, 3.
4, 3.
I'm gonna be spending a willpower.
Okay.
4
for Lily.
It's a funny way of saying 0.
Yeah.
Okay, that's 3 for me. 3 successes.
Okay, so you all rolled really well there. So all of you are going to notice that suddenly there are screams being heard from the back office up in the administrative area, like up the stairs all the way back. You can tell that it's sort of coming back from the back of the building. You all rolled like pretty significantly well, so for the difficulty. So you hear it and you all think it could be Williamson. So there's a ah! and who got 4?
Me.
Okay, so Lily and Tommy also hear the very end of glass shattering.
Off to investigate.
And some kind of grunt.
My professional reputation makes it necessary for me to run up there immediately.
Absolutely. Okay, so Walter is going up the stairs to the back office. Fast. What's everyone else doing?
I'm going to be using rapid reflexes to be one of the first ones to move towards the sound as quickly as possible.
Okay. Very, very good.
I'm going to start moving a little quicker once I see Walter. I catch eye of him and just like, oh. Usually if I see Walter move quickly, I know it's time to move quickly.
And
Fair enough.
Have I picked up? Well, I know Rafe is kindred, even though I haven't said anything to him about it yet. Have I picked up that the other 2 are as well?
Yeah, I feel like you would have in our previous engagement. You have enough like awareness of your surroundings, and you're quite, you've got some age on you as a kindred. So I think you would have probably clocked them as kindred, yeah.
Seeing them heading that direction, she would have likely kind of rolled her eyes, and then she would have looked at Bess and just been like, there's a car right out front. You are to get into that car and stay there. Do I make myself clear?
She has no more energy left to fight back, so she just says, yes.
Look
yes,
at me. Look at me. Understand that I'm going to go see what it is that just transpired because, well, I'm slightly curious. But if you do, for just this one time in your lifetime, if you would just be so kind as to do as I am asking you to do, I promise you will only feel this way for the time it takes me to get back to said car. Okay?
And her lower lip trembles, and she just straight up starts to cry. But she's nodding her head, and she, like, between sobs, she's like, yeah, and I'll go get my medicine, and I'll...
No, Bess, darling, listen to me very closely. You go from this point right here, past the gate, and to the car. Don't stop.
Fine.
Don't go to the medicine tent. Just go straight to the car. Have a little lay down, and once I get back, I'm going to make sure that you no longer feel as you do right now. Promise you'll feel loads better once I have returned. Much better, actually, better than you've probably ever felt in your entire life. Promise.
I believe you. Okay. And she, as her syphilis-ridden body can take her out of the hospital, she exits the opposite direction, so going out the front doors, and she's gonna go find the car, as you said, and do that as quickly as she is able. So, with rapid reflexes, Rafe is probably the first one to get to the office, I'm thinking.
Yeah, I don't have any helper, so.
Okay, all right. So then, basically, I wouldn't say this gives you like a wild head start there, but like you arrive probably like a minute. Rest of them, and what Rafe is gonna see upon walking into the office, it's actually pretty large for the size of the hospital. Gray has like hooked himself up here. There's like an experimentation area to the left. There's a big old desk in the corner. There are bookshelves. There are, certifications on the walls. It actually looks pretty nice for being kind of like a poorer area. So it's a nice looking thing. And there's a large rectangular window at the back of the room, and you can see that it's broken. And then what you see is Williamson is being shoved into a bookcase by, like, he's got his neck throttled, and he's by a gigantic, repulsive, hideous creature. It has leathery skin. You can see it has folded, leathery, like, bat wings. Its face is like not as much of a humanoid face as like almost a snout coming off of it. it's like 6'5", 300 pounds, and with these huge arms with these claws, and you can tell that the creature is almost having a hard time balancing in this bipedal way, almost like it probably maneuvers like a primate, like on all four haunches. And Williamson is kicking his legs and freaking out as this creature, through like all these like sharp, uneven, nasty looking teeth, and he goes, Dr. Gray, Dr. Gray, Dr. Gray, where is Dr. Gray? And as you watch this, that exchange concludes, and then the rest of the Walter will enter next, and then Tommy is behind him. Then Lillian is the last to.
Lillian is sashaying. She's not in any kind of real hurry. She's more so concerned.
Yeah, just curious
as to what the hell these people are doing.
You can easily glean what happened from the aftermath. You don't need to be there to see it.
Right. So
she's in no intentions of actually getting involved into anything at all. She just wants to see what the fuck happened, because she is technically there, and so should somebody actually ask that is higher above her station, considering she's there, she might need to let them know what did happen. So
fair
damn
enough.
it, if you guys could have waited another 5 minutes, she'd have been out the door. Not there, don't know.
Can't do it. Sorry, you're roped in now. How does Rafe react to this?
I'm standing there, I'm trying to process this scene. I do not recognize this creature at all. This is something that...
I was gonna say, if you would want to try to make like an intelligence and occult,
I have no occult.
No? Okay, then you for sure do not recognize this creature. Like, you don't know, you've never seen this in your life or your unlife. You don't know what it is.
Well, it's speaking, so it's obviously sentient. So I'm going to activate awe.
Okie dokie.
Oi! Put
Let's
him
see.
down! Dr. Gray is downstairs. You don't have to kill this man. Put him down. If you're looking for Gray, he's downstairs.
Okay, can you please roll manipulations and your presence rating?
Yo.
And then I am going to make a roll myself.
Get him, Rafe.
Definitely not a mortal.
Truly not anything.
If you're a god,
say yes.
You have to tell me if you're a god. You know, you got to tell me.
It's the law.
If I ask you, it's the law. I'm sorry. Okay, I need to roll. Yeah. Okay.
I've got 2 successes.
Okay, so let's see. All right. The tie does go to the active kindred. So, you are, the creature, is still holding Williamson. Like, Williamson isn't, like, he's not going to be choked unconscious. You can tell that, the creature is lessening his grip slightly. I mean, Williamson already probably has some scratches just by the nature of the talons, but he's so far like not like about to die or anything. So the creature all of a sudden drops Williamson, who is in a crumpled pile on the floor, and he turns his head, and it is ugliness without compare. Like, it makes you feel unsettled to the deepest core of your being. Your beast stirs. There is something very, very wrong about this creature. it is not right. Even as something you that's going against the natural order of things, even to you, this seems wrong. So I imagine the rest of you are still standing behind him as he's yelling this.
Well, I'm trying to get a sense if that creature's still aggro.
Is there
Tommy?
Is there any attention to us in the background, or is it just?
No, he has all. Rafe activated all, so all of the creature's attention is for sure on Rafe. So the creature probably doesn't necessarily notice you're there, or if they do, it's just like it's not registering as a threat to the creature. So he is.
Yeah.
Sorry, what's
unseen
that?
Passage.
Sure, that's okay. So you then, let's see, Tommy, unseen patches. Okay, no rouse, or yes, you do need a rouse check for that, please.
We're good.
Okay, so no, you do not get hungrier at this time. Okay, and just a reminder, like you can't any sound louder than a whisper, you will be detected. But you can move as long as it's quiet. Okay, so Tommy disappears from view. Except for Rafe, because did you activate heightened senses at some point?
No, I could have, but I opted not
Oh,
to.
okay. Okay, you didn't. Okay, I just wanted to make sure. So, okay, to the rest of you all, Tommy disappears. So Tommy disappears from view, and the creature looks towards Rafe, enthralled by the power of the blood that is awe. And he looks and he goes, I need Dr. Gray. Dr. Gray will not leave. Tonight, I have been commanded, and he shall not leave.
Right. Who sent you?
I have been commanded. I serve
Right.
the strongest one. I serve them. I must not speak their name.
Kind of roll my eyes at this point, and I attempt to go collect Dr. Williamson off the floor and take him to safety.
Okay. You're a strong guy, and Williamson is very like average build, and the creature is completely enthralled with awe. So you can probably try to go around and like pick him up. If you would please roll. Let me see here.
Like, I'm not trying to be sneaky about it. I'm just.
You don't have to be,
Yeah,
because
I'm like
right.
This fucking guy. I'm almost annoyed having to do it. Like, I came up here blood boiling,
funny.
ready to fight a giant man bat, and now the fucking reporter's got his attention.
Right. So just because you do have to like almost carry this guy out, or carry him actually properly, if you'll please roll, actually your pool is going to be bigger than the difficulty, so we're going to just give you an automatic win there.
Okay.
So if you could describe exactly what you want to do here.
So I'm not necessarily like avoiding it. So whatever the straight line is in order for me to get to Williamson, like, I'm not gonna like shoulder check the beast, but as I walk by, I'm just gonna kind of look at him, get a good look at him, and then I'm.
If you would like to roll wits and insight, in terms of if you'd like to try to get some more information about the creature.
Yeah. Okay. I'll do that.
Okay.
Insight. What is insight?
Skills.
It's a skill. So it's under social. It's under social
there it
attributes.
is. Okay.
Yeah.
It's not great, but
That's That's okay.
I got a 2.
You got a 2.
Yeah.
You're not taking in necessarily anything else special about it. You do know that it's kind of hind legs. They all have talons, and then you can also see on the top of the creature's head. So it's got this snouted form, and it's got kind of these small ears that are laying flat, but it has these like fleshy protrusions coming from its head and seeming like a random pattern, and they look almost like they've been implanted there, but I mean, it's hard to tell with this thing you've never seen before. But you do see not only on its head, but then like its body, it just looks malformed in certain ways, like crooked, and just not quite right. Even you can tell that despite never having seen the creature before. So that's what you notice there.
Okay. As I walk by, I just whatever it takes to get Dr. Williamson off the floor and over my shoulder, kind of do just an over the shoulder carry, and I walk by again. So I'm just getting
okay.
Him out of, but like, so I'm obviously not worried about this.
Yeah. You are not worried about it. So like I said, you don't have to roll, you automatically win. So you pick him up and you carry him with no problem. You're a strong guy. And you sort of go around. So you're going to have to sort of like, it's just a singular door, excuse me, to the office. So you're going to sort of have to like go behind Rafe. And then you'll probably see, Lillian standing there. So are you walking past all of them just down the hallway?
Yeah, just got this, man. I don't know. Is there another doctor in the house that can take a look at this doctor who can't help but...
That would be Dr. Gray, and I believe he's trying to regain his bearings downstairs.
Regain his bearings? What happened to Dr. Gray?
I don't like to be associated with places like this.
So you don't know. Fine. Thanks for the help.
You're not very bright, are you? She says as she turns and continues.
Not paid to be bright.
Right. So
okay.
Go
ahead.
She goes. Sorry, I was just gonna say that she starts heading towards where I guess all the crazy shit's happening in that room.
Yeah.
So Rafe's still trying to keep the creature's attention. What are you? I don't think I've ever seen anything like you before.
I am nothing. I am a tool. I was created to serve.
Oh, okay. Yeah, look, my friends and I tell you what. I will take you to go look for Dr. Gray. And my friends will also go try to look for Dr. Gray. And we will meet back here. Is that something that's acceptable?
And you can see the gears turning. He's under this awe, but you can tell that the very nature of his being does not want to engage with any of you in any way. He's resisting, but the power of awe.
There's a lot of that going around.
Does Lillian hear this happening and see what's going on?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, Tommy and Lillian can see and hear.
Yeah.
Did you move anywhere specific in the room with your unseen passage, or did you go any certain place?
I'm going to try to sneak around and possibly behind this creature. Do you mind if I take a shot at that occult roll?
Sure. Roll intelligence and occult, please.
Thank you.
Yeah.
While Lillian is going to be looking at this creature and hearing Rafe talk to it, she's just going to be like, "Oh, Rafe, correct?
Yes, Mom.
Right, all right. So, that cannot go anywhere."
Understood.
Because, you see, you know what sort of city this is. Can you imagine leading something like that around? Can you take it by the hand, walk it downstairs to find Dr. Gray, I'm going to deduce, and
the creature can hear you as you're sort of just like talking about it as if it isn't there, and
she is continuing.
Yeah, and he goes,
"Oh, stop it. Quite enough, thank you very much.
Calm down.
We are having a conversation, don't be rude. So, unless you want further problems with,
Yes.
you know,
Yes.
the tower, I highly suggest you keep this contained as much as possible, and perhaps I can help that one that walked past me find the presumably good doctor."
Understood. And
Fantastic.
all right, I will tell you what, friend. You and I, we'll keep each other company, and my friend will go procure Dr. Gray for you.
You know what you should do? You should recite that lovely little poem you tried to recite to my niece the other day. You should do that. I'm sure whatever this is would find it just as amusing as I did.
Rafe
And she's
is-
going to turn on her heels and walk away.
Rafe is
Well, that was
visibly
uncalled for.
blushing again.
I'm gonna try not to laugh and break my unseen passage.
"Yeah, you better not. Better not. No laughing."
I got a 4 in my roll.
Unfortunately, this is not this creature is, again, like nothing you've ever seen in your life. Like, even you're an older kindred, you've seen some shit, you've seen several wars, but this is just not registering for you as anything that you would recognize, or anything that even you've like heard about through like hobnobbing with other kindred. This is just shocking. It's shocking. Its appearance is very unsettling and shocking, and you feel that. Okay, so let's see. I'm trying to get a good idea about. Okay, so Walter, going back to you real quick. So you're carrying Williamson, and he's not unconscious. He's just kind of like moaning, but he's like starting to like come back around because
Sure.
it wasn't as bad as it could have been, thanks to rapid reflexes. So Williamson sort of like tries to pick his head up, and he's like, "Oh, what's going on? What's going on?"
You were attacked by a big, ugly creature. So now we're gonna go find the other doctor to see if you're okay.
Creature? What? Like a bear?
I mean, it could be. Who knows? It's London, so let's just go find Dr. Gray.
Well, let me walk. Let me walk.
Listen, doctor, I'm not the doctor. Let me just carry you. That way you won't try to run off. I will need to make sure you're okay.
And Williamson just can't. He's not willing to fight about this, so he just limply surrenders to your hold as you continue and you go down the stairs. So Lily, you're walking. Are you like you're behind?
Yes, I'm trying
Walter.
to essentially brisk pace catch up to Walter.
Okay.
I shut the door where they are behind me.
Good idea.
Yes, I made sure that I was shutting the door behind me. and I'm trying to briskly catch up with Walker.
She should have no problem doing that. The emergency's over. I'm just sauntering.
She's gonna be like, excuse me, you there? The one, whatever you're doing with the one holding the doctor.
No,
do you
please.
mind pausing for a
suppose.
moment? Fantastic. All right, so, I might have managed to gain a bit of a foothold in this situation, but there is one thing that we are going to have to handle, and I need you to just step right over here with me into this like dark little kind of corner
What for?
or room or whatever's closest. Would you just? I don't want. I'm not
Oh,
doing
I'm not
anything.
one of your little poofers. You can't just tell me what to do.
I'm not.
It's
It's not
fine.
about you. It's,
I see how you
it's
talk
not
to
about you,
everybody
it's about
around
that
here.
one. I'm sorry, but can you make that one forget what they just
Make
saw?
this one forget? Nah, not a chance.
Yes. All right, I can, which is why I said I need you to step right over
Alright.
here with me, with him, so
You
no one
make
else
a
can
valid
see
point.
what I'm about to do. Fantastic. See, we're beginning to understand each other, I suppose. And yeah, as soon as we step over there, she's just going to grab
Mhm.
the doctor, and she's just like, "Hello, love. I'm going to need you to forget everything that you just saw and experienced. You had a terrible accident. You fell. You're so clumsy."
I do believe this is Forgetful Mind, correct?
Yes, I think
Okay,
so.
cool.
Let me make
So-
sure. Yes, I think
So I
that's
do
what we
need a rouse check from you.
Yes. Oh dear. Ooh, dear. It's not a very good rouse check.
Okay. So I assume you failed then.
It's oh, you can't see. Yeah, it's the. Yeah.
She is
Okay.
tired of talking to dumb shits like me.
Yeah.
I'm so tired of talking to people. I shouldn't even be here. God damn it,
It
Bess.
wasn't even supposed to work today.
My
Yeah, right.
dirty one niece.
I should just be at home in my warm house.
Pretty much.
In my big home, not dealing with this shit.
And we got syphilis and Batman. And
We have syphilis now.
It's a mess. It's a mess.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so your hunger increases to 2.
Yep.
And as you're compelling Dr. Williamson to forget this absolute face crack that he's just seen, you feel the beast just vice grip on your innards, and you feel this is not a tension you often feel, the tightness, the nausea of anxiety that you felt as a mortal. You can just sense a little bit of that as the beast grows hungrier, and you hear just a little voice in the back of your head, a man's voice, just laughing in a low smoky.
Stop it. She's just like, stop it.
He's going to surpass you if you're not careful.
We shall see.
And the laughter fades in your mind. Okay, so I'm actually gonna have you roll manipulation and dominate, please.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
I can do that.
Okay.
It's a really big dice pool I have.
I imagine. Oh boy.
I can't tell if that was a bad one.
Okay, 3 crits and 2 regulars. And my hunger die ended up getting the pretty little skull thingies again on both.
Oh my goodness. Okay, holy shit.
Just a regular crit.
Yeah,
Damn
just
it.
a regular crit.
Okay.
Yeah, no worries there. Okay, so you blow past the mental defenses of Williamson with no problem at all. Making people forget things is something you do very well, something Lillian excels at. So, Williamson gets a blank look on his face as if all of that is being completely deleted from his mind, and the life seems to disappear out of his eyes, only to return a half second later. And the information you gave him about being in an accident, it, with your critical successes, it becomes a flawless imprint, as true as any memory. So there is no question in Williamson's mind, once he gets his bearings, that he had an accident, you know, and he got a little bit injured.
That this brute right here came around. I mean, there's no telling how long you would have been under that bookshelf. You should be more careful.
I can't believe I'm so clumsy. I'm so tired.
It happens to the best. Well, it doesn't happen to me, but it happens to the best of you. But nonetheless, you should be very, very much so more careful, because I would hate for we to be one less doctor around here because you had an accident because you weren't being watching what you were doing. And
yes, you're so right, Mum. I'm going to do better in the future. I just need a spot of rest is all. And
I would highly agree with you. Perhaps you should go run along now and find I don't know, a room that is somewhat not occupied, and have a little bit of a lie down and take a few moments. That's probably best. Perhaps even, once you're feeling up to your normal self again, you don't necessarily have to tell anybody that this happened, and I promise I won't say a word. It'll be our little secret. Sound good?
Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. And he's
Wonderful.
definitely a bit more out of it. Okay, so are you both emerging from this like little nook and continuing down the stairs?
Yes, I'm going to, once that's done, I'm, as soon as, the doctor goes off, just going to look at Walter and be like, now see, was that so hard, really?
I look at you suspiciously. It's quite a silver tongue you've got.
Isn't it though? Now, come along, I sent the dear Dr. Gray that way.
Oh.
And I'm just going to walk past.
Okay. Before we encounter Dr. Gray here, Rafe and Tommy, is there anything you want to do while they're making their way down?
Rafe,
Just have my stiletto in my hand, and I'm just waiting.
Rafe
What's he got a
is
shoe for?
just trying to make small talk with the creature without trying to aggravate it, while Lillian and Walter try to procure the good doctor.
Yeah, nobody told Walter about this plan. I'm still looking for the doctor to go check on the other doctor.
Right. Let's see. Okay, yeah, you have him enthralled in awe, so you'll continue to sort of talk, but while the creature is sentient, it's not very intelligent. It has a hard time, and it's kind of like you're talking and he's just kind of like and like doesn't necessarily like answer your questions. He just sort of like does that, and Tommy is waiting in the shadows.
Just in case.
Is it fair to surmise that I've pegged this creature as being very built for purpose? Like it's It's obvious that the thing is not very intelligent. This is very clearly a tool to be used by someone else. This was not a. This is not something that could be considered natural by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah, you would distinctly get that impression, and from what the creature has said, in terms of it being in servitude of some kind. So like, yeah, you get the impression that he's a tool, that this is not like, it's not just like a whim that he's coming in here and doing this.
This was not a naturally found creature that was bent to someone's will. This was something made.
I would say that you could surmise that,
okay.
Yes, without a roll. Yeah, you can surmise that it's, yeah, just in the fact that in its appearance alone, I think you could sort of come to that conclusion. Okay, so Lily, you're looking for Dr. Gray. So you get to the bottom of the stairs, and sure enough, Dr. Gray has almost like slowed down a little bit, and he at that point is leaning on the side of the front desk and like low-key flirting with some young receptionist there, and he's kind of like just laughing. Definitely does not fit the mood of the hospital. It looks straight up weird that he's like being all smiley and stuff. So he's just there at the desk.
I'm going to walk up just behind him and just
and and Dr. Ray whips around, and when he sees you, oh, Mom, I didn't know you were still here at Waterman.
I interrupted the conversation.
Right.
It's time to go see the other doctor.
No. What was your name? What was your name again, dear? She's talking to Walter.
Yeah, well, Mr. Price.
Right, Mr. Price. If you would just let me first, and then if it doesn't work out, we'll go your route. Just thank you, Doctor. Do you mind if I have a bit of a word with you? Actually, no. Better yet, come with me. Just follow me, all right? It's not even a matter of minding or not. I just kind of need a word with you at the moment, so let's go. Please, if you don't mind. Unless, you know, what you were doing with this lovely nurse here is more important than, you know, patients and the well-being of other, and, you know, continuing with your Hippocratic oath.
And Dr. Gray kind of, his eyes widen, and he closes his white doctor coat. He kind of like closes it, and he's like, ooh, Rodney Dangerfield moment. He basically, you're this is another automatic win situation. Like, your manipulation and persuasion pool is just like way higher.
I'm just making him feel this big.
Yeah, and he can't really, he has no recourse against that. So he's like, yes, I'm sure it's very important if you need my attention. So yes, please. And he will follow you.
I will follow them.
Okay, and wait, where are we stashing the doctor?
Oh, William, I sent him on his way to go find a room to lay down.
Oh, he did walk. Okay, so
Yes.
let us say that Dr. Williamson, he literally just lays down in an empty bed in the hallway of the men's ward. Like, he doesn't even make it very far. He just lays down, and it's kind of like and you can see. And I mean, just even though he's laying there and it looks kind of weird, like, everyone is too busy to like notice it right away. So you probably have a little bit of time before someone's like, why is the doctor just laying there? So he's just gonna lay there. And then Lillian will lead, and Dr. Aloysius Gray is following her, and then Walter is behind them, and you get back. So where are you going exactly?
I am going to be heading towards the room, and while I'm doing that, I'm going to be questioning him, sort of like, all right, so, bit of question, a bit more curiosity. You haven't made anyone angry lately, have you?
Angry? I mean, the nurses and doctors, I mean, I enjoy a regular rapport with them here at Wetterman, and I am trying to, make a name for myself in the London medical community. So I have aspirations higher than this place, and so I conduct myself as such.
Probably.
Well, perhaps. I mean, it's
likely.
Very strange times.
Understood. I have my answer on that one. You know what? I think that my...
You seen any strange creatures in these parts lately?
Really?
Do you say that?
Mr. Price.
Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't sure
Really,
you
Mr.
were making
Price.
a joke.
Was that necessary?
Creatures? Certainly not. This is the city. There are not creatures roaming around the streets of London, except for rats.
Fair enough.
Right, well, just come along now. We should talk. I am considering in potentially offering a bit of charity to this establishment, but it really is going to require full cooperation on your part. Do we have an agreement? And perhaps, it would look really good on your end, having solidified such a large monetary donation.
Well, I could see that you're a woman of considerable means just in your immaculate appearance, and I mean, I wasn't going to ask you outright, of course, that'd be bad form, but I mean, as you can see, the situation is dire, so we can use any help that we can get, so I'd be happy to accept such a thing on behalf of Wetterman.
Fantastic. If you're just this way, and we can continue to discuss the terms of this and how best to highlight your accomplishments here so that I can be sure that the right professional gets full credit. And I'm going to continue
very good.
Just talking and getting
Sure.
to the door, and then I'm just going to shoot Walter a bit of a look, and
I point at the other doctor, like,
and I'm just gonna keep going and get to the room, and then I'm just gonna be like, so I have one or two business associates inside, so one of them might have a bit of a condition. We don't talk about it much. I hope you will understand the sensitivity in it. Most of this donation is going to be on his part. I'm sure you understand. It's best if you just don't give direct eye contact right off the bat. Just head down for a bit, smile. It's fine, right?
Yes,
Agree to this term.
I wouldn't want to cause any undue discomfort to any associate of yours. So,
Wonderful.
Of course, any already starts to like put his
Right
head
this way.
down and just
Right
smile.
this way then, and she's going to open the door and kind of try and seeing where the creature is kind of blocking the way a bit, so that it doesn't right off see. And then she's going to continue talking to him and making pleasantries. And she's going to then, as soon as Walter, in the behind them, she's just going to be like, Dr. Gray, this is my associate, Brave. And this is someone who really is very excited to speak to you. And I'm just going to stand back at that point and cross my arms.
I can roll if you need me to, but now I've figured out the plan.
Okay.
But I'm just like, whoa.
And I'm just going to lean up against Walter and be like, Dr. William will be fine. He'll heal up, no worries.
I'm paid to protect The doctors in the
Do you really
hospital.
want to question that thing right now? on
I
your
will
own?
question the shit out of that thing.
All right, how about we not do that?
you hear
lest
another-
we have-
Oh, I hear you too. You
How
big
about we
rat
not
bastard.
at the moment, lest we have the tower on our head? All right, with you. Yes, fantastic. Just smile and nod. Good
Is this
boy.
man part of that?
We're about to find out. And I lean against the wall and just wait.
Rafe, sorry, go ahead.
I'm gonna kneel behind this creature just in case it decides to lunge.
Okay.
With my knife in hand, so if he does lunge, I'm going to aim for some of his back tendons.
Lillian just wants to see how this is gonna go down. She needs to see what is the full spectrum that I'm not yet accustomed to. What is the deal?
I think Rafe probably would have activated heightened senses after a while to keep an ear out for their approach. Just to kind of, all right, I hear them coming, so just the next people that walk into this door will include the doctor, so just settle down. They shall be here forthwith.
Sarah, I have a mechanics question for you.
Yeah, sure. What's up?
Since the beast, do I need to be like in a direct confrontation with a creature in order to get any type of gleaning off of that, or is him snarling at me like enough to size him up using that?
Yeah, you don't have to be in any kind of like confrontation. I mean, you could just be like scanning the room somewhere.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can if you would like to use Sense the Beast, you can give me Resolve plus Animalism, please.
Okay. It's not a lot, but it's something.
Still, that's okay. And then I am going to make a roll as well.
That too.
2, you said?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So you sense from the creature that even under the power of awe that Rafe is employing, the level of hostility in this creature is it's still moderate. Like it started in high and now it's sort of like backed off slightly, but he still has this baseline hostility to him. So it seems to you that even when like not in a direct confrontation like what's going on right now, he would like still have this natural base level of hostility. You would be able to tell. You said you got 2?
Yeah.
Okay. You are able to tell that this is some sort of vampire.
Oh.
It's not one that you are familiar with, but there is a sense of being kindred, but it's not exactly what you normally detect when you clock another kindred. Like how you would have known about, if you would have picked it up from Lillian or Tommy or Rafe, like this would be a different sort of feeling, but there is, there's enough to tell you in your instinct as a gangrel that there's some kind of kindred situation going on with this creature, but you can't really glean anything further than that.
Okay. Well, I'm shocked.
Okay, so that's right. I imagine you would be. So, let's see. So Rafe, you had sort of told the creature to like calm down, right? You were sort of like, okay. So, I mean, he's still under awe, so he'll give a few more snarls and stuff and sort of be like, almost like he's fidgeting around, but it's almost as if he's constrained. Like he can't lash out in the way that he wants to. And he does clock Gray. And he sees Gray come in, and he just like, he lets out like a really inhuman, hostile, wild, is pretty loud at this point, and he's still struggling, and he just says, he's got this nasty mishmash of teeth, and he's just like, Dr. Gray must die. He must.
Oh, right. And that's when Lillian will speak up, and she's just going to be like, can we revisit this for just a moment, and let's talk about this? Why exactly does that need to happen? And I'm going to make sure, like, kind of signal to Walter to make sure that door's locked.
Oh, yes, good call.
Good call indeed.
I do so.
So sorry. Go ahead.
No, I do so.
Oh, okay. Sorry. My bad. Okay. And then, sorry, Lillian, what exactly were you saying to him?
I'm just going to look at the creature. Just be like, all right, so let's talk for a moment. Obviously you can understand on some level, perhaps. Does that need to happen exactly? Why does Dr. Gray need to die? What did he do?
If you, since you're like looking right at him and like interacting with him now, if you would give me please a wits and investigation roll.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Have that. All right.
Okay.
I'm also looking to improvise a big ugly stick from anything in there, like a hat rack or something.
Why don't you also give me wits and investigation, Walter, please, for looking for an improvised weapon?
Okay.
3-1 is a crit.
Okay. Wow. Cool. So great. As you're talking to the creature, you are looking, you're kind of scanning him. You're just like trying to get any like extra information that you can. And you're, trained sense of sight and everything, sees a small, thin, like sterling silver bracelet around this creature's back right leg. So right above, like before its like foot with the like talons are coming out, there's just this silver thing. And since you did have quite a few number of successes, you can see, when you focus, you can see the letters RB. And so he continues, this is my job. It's my job to kill Gray.
Who is your employer?
No.
That thing's a lick.
Right.
I am no
Dr.
lick.
Gray. I'm going to look at Dr. Gray, who I'm hoping is still looking down and probably freaking out.
Yeah, he is. He
bit.
for sure is. Yeah, he's following your instructions to the letter.
So, Dr. Gray, I do have a real quick question. Do you know you don't? Would you know the initials RB? Does that sound familiar to you?
And you can see the creature shrink and almost get this childlike look in its eye of worry, of panic, of almost terror. I cannot say. They will cause me pain. They have caused me great pain.
Anybody else know anything about an RB? Anyone? Anyone in the group?
My mistress.
And who is she, love? That's what I need to know.
She is no one. She is everyone. She is my god. She
Right.
will rule London. She will rule London. And all the weak will fall. And it will be I and the strongest surviving here.
So, what is your name? Do you have a name? Can we start there?
My name is Eli.
Eli, fantastic. Now I know what to call you. So your god. I'm saying that correctly. Jesus fucking Christ, why am I? Anyways, your god, your mistress, super strong, going to rule all of London. Only the strong survive. How is it that one would fall under the same belief as you have? Surely I would need to have a name or a way to, I don't know, learn more about this great god your mistress is.
And who are you?
Oh, fucking Christ. It's a big fuck. I'm mum.
Right, so, Lillian Crawford, darling.
I have heard this name.
A lot have, actually. Very much so. A lot, yes. A lot. A whole lot. So, back to my question now, because I was so polite.
And Eli interrupts you and he says, her family also so much money, old, powerful, shining through the ages, shining through the windows, the beautiful windows, many colors, many shapes.
Is she currently in London?
She does not step foot in the city full of weak.
Right. All right. I understand. Not very much on London either. Not really my scene so much, but I kind of have to be here, so I'm here. Nonetheless, lots of money. I can get behind that, and I would very much so love a moment to converse with her and perhaps align our beliefs. Is she like us? You know, myself, Rafe, that one.
Though.
I do not know. I do not know what you mean.
Not a problem at all. Where does she stay?
In the moors, in the fog. In the country.
This country, I'm going to assume, because there's a lot of countries. Just want to be clear on what we're talking about.
Yes, I cannot fly far.
Noted. Do you need help getting back to her? I would be more than willing to take you myself.
No, I return alone. Too much pain to torture by and he can't spit it out.
No. We're fine. We're on the same page here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let you go ahead and run along back to her, and do let her know that Lillian Crawford extends her regards and would very much like to meet her.
When
Okay.
if I return, and Dr. Gray is not dead,
Don't
I
worry
will
about
be-
it.
I will be killed.
Consider it done. You don't have to do it. I can handle it. I'm kind of hungry myself, honestly.
You will kill Dr. Gray,
Of course.
but it is my task.
Oh, come on now. What is a task among friends? I can do it. It's not a problem.
Friends,
No, you don't have to be
No.
my friend. I'm hurt. Honestly, now I thought we were getting along famously.
I do not have friends.
What do
I
you want then?
serve.
You can have friends and serve a god.
You do not know. You shall not speak of the situation in the country.
Storyteller, through this entire sequence, with my journalism background, would I be able to maybe start connecting the dots with all of the information that's been given to maybe start putting a name to the RB initials?
Ooh.
We see here. Okay, if you it seems like something that Rafe would try to do. So go ahead and give me give me intelligence and investigation. That's a big pool for you.
Yes, it is.
So, but that is what we will say.
Well, I'm
That's what
sure
we will say.
nobility's in the papers a lot.
Money.
Exactly.
Stained glass.
Big money.
Sounded like stained glass windows of some sort. Either way, yeah, she's gonna continue because that's the point. She's trying to get as much information out as possible.
I'm spending another willpower. That was
That
So that's
sound
2
good.
spent so far.
That was absolutely ridiculous.
Ouch.
It's all right.
Okay, that's a little better. 3 successes.
You think of a pool of probably like 6 old money families that you could possibly follow this lead on. No one immediately comes to mind. No like royalty necessarily. You know that no royalty necessarily comes to mind. This is probably a privatized money sort of situation. So you think, okay, it's not royal, or if it's royal, it's very low, like on the totem pole. So you know, in your brain is swirling around maybe a couple of names of families, of surnames, but nothing comes to mind immediately from what's been said by Eli.
I will just start randomly rattling them off out loud. No,
You're rattling the different names off?
Yes, if it's small. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and run off a list of like 19 names. But
Right.
now hold on. Your masters, your mistress, is she a Bollingsworth? Is she a Balderdash?
Okay.
Yeah.
So immediately upon hearing Bollingsworth, you can see he says nothing, but you can see a flicker of recognition there that you don't think you would see. And unfortunately, this creature is not really capable of like masking like its emotions or its like mental state. Like it just can't do that. So he doesn't say anything. Like for the first time he's like not fidgeting, he's dead silent, and you just see a glint that tells you
Bollingsworth. All right, your mistress is a Bollingsworth.
Oh, wait, do I know her? Would I know her or know of her?
So you would know of, being the old money that you yourself are, and all of the different famous families of that era. You would know that the Bollingsworth were family. Their wealth goes back to the like 1700s, and that they were primarily trading in glass manufacturing, which was really in those the earlier centuries. They were really making names for themselves, and with the glass they would supply windows to all kinds of different establishments, private and related to public buildings as well. So that would ring a bell, but like you can't bring to mind like a name of somebody, like an individual Bollingsworth. You just sort of think, okay, they're around. They've maybe your family has had dealings with them in the past.
Got it. So she's Bollingsworth. How charming. I'm very familiar with your mistress's family. I'm sure I might have even had work done for them, or them had work done for us at some point. That's fabulous. I shall ring the old family house for a spot of tea soon, and we can chat. Now that we have that out in the open, can't we be friends now? I know who your mistress is, or at least her lineage. It's a good lineage.
You know nothing of her. You know nothing of her power and her station.
No, not yet. I intend to find out, though. You see, because I'm quite curious about her becoming a god or being a god. I'm currently in the market for a new deity myself.
You are like her. You are like her. I sense.
In what way am I like her?
In every way. Your speech. Your carriage. The powers.
I see what you're meaning. Yeah, so you see, I'm like her. They're on some level ish like her. So you understand why I say that.
Excuse me.
Us. That is a really hard voice to keep up,
I'm
and you're
dying.
doing fantastic.
Thank you. I'm fine.
So you understand why, when I say I would very much so love to pop in for a bit and have a chat with her. We are very similar, as you have pointed out. Do you understand?
And
surely she wouldn't object to such a thing. We are the same.
As now, okay, Rafe, I want to clarify something here.
Yes.
So all is still active at this point. So I'm kind of trying to figure out how his attention is divided. sort of here, because you're like, he's probably mostly looking at you and just hearing and responding and not looking at Lillian. Okay, I just wanted to make sure. Okay, so there's that. So let us at this point take a small intermission, just a really brief short one, and then we'll come back very shortly after that. Welcome back. Thank you for joining us here at Martlet Games for London's Bleeding. Now that we're back, we are on a scene with a giant gray repulsive creature. Lillian is just blowing through his mental defenses as well. Tommy is unseen in the shadows with his stiletto. Walter is on guard, and Rafe is still employing awe. So Eli's attention is still on him as Lillian questions him. So let's see. Eli is starting to squirm even more now, and he's starting to get desperate. Not necessarily like angry or aggressive, but like you can tell he wants to get out of there. And you see him there on all fours, almost like a primate, his wings sort of pulsating, kind of nervously opening and closing. And he says, "Please, it will hurt when I return, but I must return, and you must kill Dr. Gray."
Absolutely. I will ensure it happens. Not a problem. I can see you're struggling a bit, so you should probably get back. You can tell your mistress that I did it, and if she has any questions, she is more than welcome to contact me.
And
I'm sure she can.
And your name is Lillian Crawford.
Lillian Crawford. Yes, that's so right. You're so good. I'm so proud of you. Congratulations, dear.
And he doesn't want to feel like good at your approval, but you can tell that he low-key likes that. Please, and now he's addressing you now, Rafe. Please allow me to leave.
Oh, of course. I deactivate awe.
And with that, he flies out of the broken window. He spreads his wings and he leaves at 35 miles per hour, like dead, out into the night.
Yeah, Lillian would have looked just to see, kind of gauge how fast he's flying so that I can, just in case.
Yeah, and his long tail is sort of like trailing in the wind as he disappears into the darkness.
I'm definitely going to follow him to the window. I want to track what direction he's flying.
Okay, you can tell that he is flying due north.
Right.
So, yep, he's going north of the hospital. Yeah, at just as fast as he can go. Dr. Gray, looks up. What? You said you don't speak of his condition. I mean, where did he go? What's going on?
He's so quite very shy, and he was already having a difficult time of it, obviously, meeting new people, yourself particularly. He just wanted to make sure that he was able to meet you, to make sure we were giving you the right establishment. and that the right doctor was being honored with such a generous gift in his name.
But the way he was speaking was so strange, and my my office, and he starts to sort of walk around, and he's noticing all the glass on his floor, the bookshelf.
That was
has
Dr.
been-
William. Dr. William had a bit of a stumble, but I promised him that we weren't going to tell anyone else, so you can't bring it up. But yes, Dr. William was in here earlier, and he was messing around on the bookshelves and had a bit of a tumble.
I just
That's why
sent
he's
him
laying
in here
down.
to get the salt of quinine. Like
I know.
it wasn't a difficult task.
No,
I
it
thought
really
he
wasn't.
was-
But what do you really expect with Dr. William? I mean, that's why he's
Yes,
laying down out there
Williamson.
now. He needs to, calm himself and, gather his bearings so that he can continue to do the work, at least as half as good as you, obviously.
Well, thank you.
Isn't that
I-
right, Mr. Price?
Yes, he's outside waiting on you to give him a quick check up he had. Quite the tumble, don't bring it up, he's embarrassed.
Yes, I promised I would not say a word, but someone needed to know that he could be potentially a little bit injured, so perhaps just, notice, oh, whatever happened to you? You have a few little bumps and scrapes. Let me just check and make sure nothing's broken.
Yes. Gosh, quite embarrassing indeed for Dr. Williamson, but I do think I should check on him and get someone to attend to this dreadful mess. Heavens. What will they think? Okay. So with that, Dr. Gray is gonna head back down the stairs to check on Williamson, and it's just you all in the room in this aftermath.
All right, Tom,
Oh,
you can come out now.
I pop
Oh,
back
oh.
with a balancing the stiletto on my finger there. Just that was interesting.
Good of you to show up.
So, what was that?
I don't know. I was just doing what I could to
He
find
was a,
out.
he was a
what I could.
kindred.
What?
Are you so sure about
I
that?
am certain.
It didn't
He's-
feel natural to me, but it didn't. I couldn't really tell if it was kindred or not. There's no way. I mean, I haven't even seen a Nosferatu that bad.
All right, so I will be honest and say that while it felt a bit primal, it still was quite cognitive and could, in some form or fashion, understand and answer my questions. So perhaps it once upon a time was kindred, and then whatever it is now.
Became that.
Maybe that is what the mistress had to do with it. I don't really know, but at least we know who-ish she is. Shouldn't be too hard to find now. And we also should try to figure out what it is we're going to do with the lovely Dr. Gray.
I'm gonna start going through his desk, by the way. Looking
Because-
for
Just
an RB. What was the last name?
Bollingsworth.
Hollingsworth.
Bollingsworth. I'm just gonna try to see if I can find something with the name.
If
on
you're
it.
going to insist on going through his papers, I'm going to step outside.
So, again, Dr. Gray is supposed to be becoming deceased right about now.
Not for another 4 hours, he ain't.
Are you sure it's 4 hours? What makes you think that is 4 hours?
I'm assuming
Because
it's shift ends.
that's when my shift ends.
Tell you what, I think I'm going to invite Dr. Gray for a spot of tea. A nightcap.
I hear there's a wonderful cafe across the street, open all hours.
Does anyone know of any kindred with the last name of Bollingsworth?
Not a clue.
Do I? Just on the offhand chance, do I?
Let me roll one dice.
Well, Walter would not.
See, I'm not really into the kindred scene here in the city. Everybody I would have come up with is over across the channel.
Right. So yeah, you would not. That nothing would come to mind.
Okay.
Okay, so wait. Tommy is going through the desk. If you could give me wits and investigation, please.
Yeah, I can do this.
Okay.
Out of curiosity, Rafe.
Yes.
Are you hungry?
Not. I mean,
You see, the good doctor's not really my type. But something needs to happen to him, and I'd rather it at least offer some sort of perhaps nourishment for our troubles.
I'm a little hungry, but everyone's always a little hungry unless you.
Good, you can eat the doctor, and I will be sure that my company sends employees and rearranges things so that a new doctor is in his place by tomorrow morning, so that this establishment does not go without, though I don't know why I'm even bothering.
Wait, you want me to kill him?
Did I stutter?
That's not going to happen.
Why not?
There's other ways around this. If you're concerned about the masquerade, you've clearly exhibited your ability to... No, we're not going to kill him. It's ridiculous.
Well, he needs to disappear, and if you can't do it, then I'll make sure that he disappears.
Right, so he needs to disappear in a very public sort of paper trail left in the wake of his disappearance. I mean, I can send him to the Americas where the rest of my family resides, but don't really want to deal with the whole press situation and making it so public, and that's just a big pain. I don't want to do it. That's what I'm trying to get at. I've already done and more than what I really wanted to do for one evening. I just wanted to get my niece and go home.
Oh, the press angle, that's definitely something that I can assist with, but I'm not going to kill the man. Whatever you end up deciding, I'm not going to be the one to do it, but I will definitely do what I need to do to make it public.
Fantastic. You do what you need to do. Obituary and all that. Tommy, dear,
Yes.
I'm going to say, please kill him, but that is up to you what you decide to do. I've done my part as I promised, and here it is in your hands now. If you'll excuse me, I need to make sure there is a new doctor here first thing in the morning.
I rolled a 2 and investigate. If that helps.
Sorry about
Okay.
fine.
Most of this stuff is all like medically related. Like it's not necessarily like his personal effects. It's like basically just like his own paperwork for his license, like his like admin stuff for the hospital, expense reports. Like there's not really anything related to what you have seen going on here or to Bollingsworth in any regard.
Okay. Well, then I will bid everybody adieu and go find the good doctor. As I'm walking out the door, I'm going to put glasses on and go Mask of 1,000 Faces.
Okay. I believe that's a rouse check from you.
Well, good thing I'm eating.
All right. So I'm going to assume that your hunger now increases to 2. And The beast is more familiar to Tommy. Tommy has lived a long time, and he's very familiar with the stirrings of the beast. And even still, you feel, if you still breathed, you'd feel your breath catch in your throat. You'd feel your teeth begging to reveal your fangs to eat whatever is closest. And you hear a voice in the back of your head. And it's just a whisper. It's just a small little noise, but it's like a slightly higher pitched voice. And it says, "Everything just so. Everything just so. Make it right. Make it right, everything just so, and then you can eat. Everything just so."
Yes, Mom.
Did he say that out loud?
I'll say yes. You just hear me go, "Yes, Mom."
Okay, so your hunger increases. So Tommy is going down the stairs. What are the rest of you? Are you following him?
No, I am not going to participate in any way, shape, or form of this senseless killing. And I'm going to
Fair enough.
I'm going to start writing in my notepad different plans on how, why, where he disappeared.
Okay, makes
And,
sense. Lillian, yeah.
Lillian would have left out probably before Tommy. And she's just heading to go to the car where Bess is still waiting. And
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
Hopefully.
definitely. Yeah, no, she is. No, you're cool.
No, she got high again. She's down.
Yeah, you can make it. If you're just leaving, you'll make it out of the hospital with nobody trying to approach you. And you'll walk just like around the corner, and the car that you hired is there, and Bess is lying down in the back seat.
I'm going to get in and tell the driver to drive, and I'm going to wake Bess up if she is sleeping. I'm just going to tell her to sit up. Or actually, no, don't sit up. Stay lying down. Just, I have a bit of medicine for you. Keep your eyes closed. I don't want you to strain too much, but just open your mouth and I will make sure you are all better now. And I'm going to cut my wrist and stick my wrist on her and go her.
And it's lazy, it's tired, it's languid at first, but then as she gets the taste and she starts to feel the effects, she attempts to like grab onto your wrist to like pull you closer in, and you pull it away.
Yep. Are we better now?
Please.
No, don't beg. It is appalling when you beg. You are better than that. We don't beg. Don't worry.
Okay.
It'll be all right. You'll get more when you need more, but at the moment, are you feeling better?
Yes, just let me sleep.
Absolutely. Sleep to your heart's content.
And she lays her head on the window, and you drive off into the dark London night. Walter, what you doing?
So I saved the man's life while he was here in the hospital.
You sure did.
If he is too weak to look after himself, then he deserves what's coming to him. So, poor guy.
Sounds about right. That sounds right for Walter.
So, I will just go back to my post and finish out the watch shift. But I don't
So
like.
you're just posted up outside the hospital again?
Yeah, making
The
sure
doors.
nobody else is causing any trouble. Lillian's definitely on my radar now. At first, I thought she was kind of a predator, and now it's just weird how she did it. So, she's on his radar now.
Okay, and as you're returning to your post, following you like just slightly as you go out is little nurse Jacqueline, and she's like, I thought I heard an awful commotion with Dr. Gray.
You might have. We took care of it. Dr. Gray is fine. He's taking a bit of a he's taking fuck. I'm actually trying to remember what the French word for nap is, but I can't. So he's out taking
I don't know.
taking a rest. He'll be back soon. Dr. Williamson is recovering from a small to-do, and everything will be back.
And he's not hurt too seriously then?
Oh, I'm afraid not. Do you know something different?
No. I mean, I trust you. You've been looking out for us and all, but I mean, I'm awfully fond of him. He's quite nice, not like Dr. Gray.
All right, well, he's upstairs. You could talk to him if you like.
Well, all right. Thank you, Mr. Price.
Is there another attending physician around here?
Yeah. Dr. Corcoran's gonna come in a half an hour or so.
Right. Just make sure you inform Dr. Corcoran that all the commotion has been taken care of. It was only an accident. Everything's fine. My watch will be over soon.
All right then. You take care, Mr. Price. And she is definitely fretting. Like she seems really, really worried. But she tries to just go back. Goes back to her duties.
Miss Jackie, Nurse Jackie.
Yes, Mr. Price.
Don't worry about nothing.
I mean,
have you seen any blokes coming in with red scarves wrapped around their hands?
I mean, I know them, of course. The Bloody Fists. They're around in Wapping. You know, they seem to be growing in number every day. Now, we haven't taken one in, as in admittance, and not seen any with the flu as of late, but, you know, if one of them's injured and they come in very urgently, I mean, we can't exactly turn them away, though. Well, maybe with Dr. Gray at the head, we might not, but yeah, they've been around. I seen them outside the hospital as well.
One of the doughboys came up and told me about them amassing outside of the gate. So if one does come in, you be careful, all right? I won't be here all the time.
Yeah. I keep my wits about me. I got a lot of worries, you know. Now it's like just add another one onto the pile. All the sick and then the gangs, and why, it's a lot for all of us to take here at Wetterman, but we sure do our best. And I'll make sure to tell you if I see anything. And at that, she turns and goes back into the hospital. All right, Tommy, what's the plan? You're muted.
Oh, gosh.
Ah. Do I see Dr. Gray?
Williamson, like I said, is like just laying in a hallway on a bed. still looking dazed, and Dr. Gray is performing like a routine, like for concussion and for checking his neck out and stuff. He's not like administering any treatment, but he's sort of like looking over him.
Yeah, I'm going to rush over to Dr. Gray.
Sir, what's the matter?
Cloud memory.
Okay.
I believe that's another rouse check.
Actually, it isn't.
Ooh, I'll take that.
Yeah, somehow
Free.
not. Yeah, it is free.
Cloud memory and compel are free.
Yeah, it's true. So I will have you roll charisma and dominate, please, for that.
Ooh.
And then I will make a roll as well.
4.
Okay. 4?
4.
Christ. Yeah. So cloud memory does take effect. So
No time to explain. Dr. Stallard, I just raised my hand up. It's time to go. We got to go to the back of the alley real quick. There's no time to dawdle. Let's go.
okay, quick pause. So cloud memory is more like you're telling them to forget the current moment and the last few minutes.
Yeah, I want him just to kind of be just off tilter with what's being said. I'm not compelling him to come with me. I just want him to feel like there's something, like he doesn't know what's going on. I've confused him. Something has gone off and he has no clue. So I'm rushing him to try to get him out the door.
I actually would probably have you roll a different pool and not use cloud memory, because like it's just not really what it's for. Unfortunately, it's just for making a victim forget the current moment. It's not really about like giving them something to do. So let's see if you would instead roll let's see, give me manipulation and persuasion. You have a huge pool for that, so
I'm rolling 2 more dice than I did for the cloud memory.
yeah. We'll see what happens. Still a test though.
5.
Damn. Okay. He looks at you and says, in the alleyway, what's the trouble? But he does start to follow you.
There's a disturbance that happened outside the hospital right here, and we need you here to come and see it, since you're the operating doctor of the area.
I don't see why this isn't a concern for Mr. Price, but okay, just
Mr.
take
Price
me there and we'll see.
Mr. Price is too busy right now to be. He's handling other things right now. This is something that I need you for.
All right, lead the way then, sir.
Okay, so we're gonna head to the back, head to the alley. We get to a shadowy part.
Yeah, so let's say that you basically went through the men's ward, and there is a side entrance to the hospital there. So you'll go out the side entrance, and you'll sort of curve around to the back, like where the morgue is.
Okay.
Perfect.
Beautiful.
Ding.
So we make it outside past the morgue area.
So it's dark. It's dark. It's grimy, cold stone all around you.
I lean over next to the wall and I go, "Look at this."
And he looks at what you're referring to.
And it's a shame. I'm also hungry. And I take my stiletto and I stab him in the stomach.
Okay, I mean, obviously this is a shock to him, so he can't block that or make an attempt to stop that. So you'll drive the stiletto into his stomach.
I bite. I drink. I lick the wound.
Wait, hold on. Are you draining him?
No.
Okay.
No.
So you slake one hunger then
Yes.
by doing that.
And then when I'm done, I lick the wound to get rid of the mark.
Okay.
And I slice him ear to ear. And I push him to the wall.
And Dr. Gray, he never thought he would go out this way. The flu circling around, he survived the air raids, he survived the first onslaught of the flu. You can see all of this potential flashing, and in an instant it's washed away in a torrent of blood. And just as he is falling to the ground to perish, he just says, "Why?" And then he pretty much bleeds out at that point, and Dr. Gray is dead.
I wipe my stiletto off on his shirt. Put it back. Walk back in. Go back to my normal self. And I'm going to head back up to Wraith.
I am actually going to end it there.
Okay.
We're going to end there. Thank you so much to everybody that joined us here on Twitch tonight at Martlet Games. I am Sarah. I am your storyteller, and we'll go around the horn just in case people just reintroductions, anything you want to promote, where people can find you. So we'll start with again, Ben, please.
My name is Ben. I am part of Martlet Games, and you can find me here.
Great.
I am Patrick Gill. I am the creative director here at Martlet Games, the Bruce Wayne of the outfit. You can find me here. You can find me over at, I believe we are going to still be at the Level Up Dice Twitch. So that's twitch.tv/levelup_TTV. I believe we're doing Saturdays at 5 p.m. I don't know when this episode right here is going to air, so I'm not even going to estimate what's going on with that. Also, you'll be seeing 4 out of the 5 of us lovelies on screen for a very special Cult of the Blood Gods chronicle over at the Onyx Path Publishing Twitch channel. That was a nice little thing that a certain someone here put a little bird in my ear when we brought her on board, and I got off my butt and finally sent off the emails, and yes, so here we are. Thank you very much for that, Sam.
Very good.
So that's it for me here, and let's kick it over to Sam then.
Hi, I'm Samantha McLarty. You can find me at just S McLarty on all the socials. I played Lillian Crawford, the very bitchy silver-tongued Ventru. I will be doing the Level Up the Vancouver adjacent by night. I play Elena Cortez de la Sombra over there on What He Said, because I don't know that URL by heart. And I will be doing as much as possible with these guys at Martlet as well. Woo woo. Mm-hmm. My favorite thing to say at the moment is just tell me when to be there.
Yeah, I will. Don't worry.
Mm-hmm.
And again, my name is Stephen Rieger. I'm part of the Martlet gang here. You can catch me at Darth Generico on most socials and Twitch and such. And yeah, I'm not really pushing anything else. If something else comes down the line, I'll let you guys know.
Cool. Well, that will wrap up episode 1 of London's Bleeding. Thank you so much again. Thank you to my awesome group of players. This is the first game I've ever run, so thank you for bearing with my nerves and providing any guidance you could. And thanks to all the people that watched. And we will see you next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye
See you later.
bye.
Bye.
Bye.